So this last 2 weeks now, since the last video, I feel like it's been 2 weeks. May have only been a week. Either way, I've worked on it a little bit, but I got a pup. But I did work on it a little bit, trying to get this wheelbase the wheelbase I had set to line up. It's not going to work. Right now, gotta zoom in to the light. That is a Toyota IFS box. That hole is very close, but it doesn't quite fit. I'm going to have to drill out the hole in the frame to where I want it, plate the frame, do all that kind of crap. But as well, that's not going to work. The axle needs to be pushed back. I'll obviously have to shorten this, but that's other issues we're dealing with. So end up shortening the wheelbase closer to a stock wheelbase. So hopefully the steering box will clear and I can make that one work. As well as it'll look a little more normal. So I've been out here working on this a little bit. This is multiple days that I've been working on it for this video, but ended up getting another piece of 2x2, and I'm going to end up plating it on the ends to actually hook it into this, and then putting a gusset right here, probably 2 of them, maybe make it look fancy somehow. Not 100% sure on that, but today I ended up making this piece as well as welding on this front 2x2 pipe tubing. This is the old piece of 11 gauge or whatever, which I gotta clean that end up a little bit, but 11 gauge bout that the trail gear used to tie these leaf spring front mount pieces together. Cut it in the middle, cut that much off of what it was, and it's going to notch into there. Obviously once it's cleaned up, maybe, there you go. It's a little bit fun with the welds, but it's going to notch into there. I'll cut the back half of it off so that I can slide it in and it'll be flush with these tow hook mounts, so it will weld. This pipe will get welded to tow hook mounts across the front of this, and then to this tow hook mount. Then it'll also tie into these body mounts right here. And if everything goes to plan, the only modification, if I find a new cab with a front clip that's not as rusty, is I will just have to cut out this front pinch weld basically for it to sit down, or put a little bit taller body mounts on it. Been slacking a little bit because of Buster, which is the dog from one of the clips. Australian Shepherd something mix. He came from a rescue, so they're not 100% sure what he is. But things are looking up. It's starting to make a little bit more sense. And I'm actually pretty proud of that weld. I did get a little bit, I didn't get quite up into the mount right up here in this corner, but other than that, looks pretty decent. So this is very crudely mounted, but it's pushed in up against the bar that I do have there. So it's going to end up going back a tiny bit more where it was at. And then I may have to loosen my body mounts and raise the body mount up to be able to weld a little bit on that top instead of just having it down here. But that's what you'll see underneath. And the wheel is sitting right about center. The steering still is a little bit close to the axle, more than I was wanting it to. May end up having to do something different for the steering mount, because this is just mounted in the factory position. Well, it's not even mounted. Those two bolts are in. That bolt still needs drilled through, but it may have to do something different. And that different may end up having to leave this bolt and pivot it down to try and pull this back, because I think I want the steering arm in front, I believe. I'll have to change, I'll pull the steering arm off tomorrow and we will see where the new steering arm that I have for it is. And then obviously this needs cut down for the Toyota box, because the Nissan box was freaking tiny. So I'll have to figure out how to do that, because I've never modified that before. And then of course brake lines and that kind of crap. There's a lot to still be done, but I think I should have enough clearance to where the tire will not hit the floor or the fender.